Welcome back to the workshop. Thank you so much for, again, viewing our videos. Make sure that you, of course, like and subscribe. That helps the algorithm, helps all the different things happen that YouTube does. And we appreciate you subscribing. We appreciate you being a subscriber. We want to share a little bit of news with you this week. We launched digitalparentingworkshop.com. I know that's a very long URL, but it's worth it to type it in and to go to our new website, our new web portal. We're going to have all of our videos on that website for you to look at, so you don't have to go searching on YouTube. But also, we're going to have resources, links, all sorts of different things there on that page, and we will be expanding and splitting those out. We'll have articles, we'll have all sorts of different things, and it doesn't look like a ton of stuff is on there right now. But again, that's going to be an ever-growing list of things for you to go to and to be a part of as a digital parent. There's really not a whole lot to sign up for. I'm just asking you to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that we can get those subscriptions. I want to get to 100 subscribers pretty soon. And if you would agree to help us out with that, that would be amazing. And so again, thank you for your amazing support so far. So today we are talking about the checklist, the back-to-school checklist that you need to make sure that you put in place every time we go back to school in August. And so my kids went back to school today. Today we're filming this on August 1st. And back to school time's a good time to make a couple of changes and to enact some new rules and to really take charge of your digital parenting, because over the summer you might have gotten a little bit lax. You might have let a little too much iPad time happen or a little too much TV time and all these other different things, and you may have gotten a little bit lazy. And so August, the fall, getting back to school, it's a good time to kind of get right back into it. So I've got a small 3-item checklist here today that I'm going to share with you, and let's get to it. The first thing is to make a list of devices in your home that can access the internet, and make a list of what parental controls those devices have on them. And again, I think you will be very surprised. I do this twice a year. I do it every August and I do it every February. And every time I'm surprised by a device that I forgot to leave off the list. And so if you just take just your regular legal pad here and just put a line right down the middle and put on that left column what devices access the internet, and don't forget about smart TVs, don't forget about even appliances. Some of those newer appliances have Android operating systems built into them. And yes, I have heard of kids finding things that they're not supposed to on a refrigerator door. Believe it or not, I have heard of that. And so again, make sure that any device that you have that accesses the internet is listed on there. And then on that right column, you're going to put what parental controls are set on that device. I know that in my home, and again, not trying to say we're not perfect in our home by any stretch of the means, and I'm learning every single day. I'm right there with you. But with 3 small boys, all under the age of 10, we have a PIN code on everything. In fact, we have PIN codes for our PIN codes. I mean, it's unbelievable, the stuff that we have. And so find every single device, and that includes the handheld devices, that includes the devices that maybe you use for work. Maybe you have 2 phones for work, maybe you have an iPad for work or a Chromebook. And that is a really interesting question too. Maybe your kids this week, when they go to school, or maybe they start school next week, whenever they start, maybe they're going to be issued a device, a Chromebook or an iPad. And guess what? You're going to have to see if you can mess with the parental controls on that as well, because you've got to make sure that it's secure at home. But also, we know it's going to be secure at school because of the internet and the Wi-Fi and the different things that they have going on at the school system. But it doesn't necessarily have the same protections when you get home. So that's another kind of thing that you have to think about. The second thing on the list is to audit your parental controls on your children's devices. And I would say that for any device that your child uses in your home, you need to do kind of an audit, kind of a reevaluation of those parental controls. You need to go through there and see if anything needs to change, if you need to tweak anything. Again, you're thinking about change, you're thinking about the fall, you're thinking about getting back to school, getting back in a routine. And again, this is a great time to do that. So again, audit your parental controls and look at screen time on your iOS device, or Google Play Family Link on your Android devices. Look at the different devices that your child uses as far as the ones that are mounted on the wall. This is kind of goes along with making the list, but while you're making that list and making sure that you're doing an audit of all those devices in your home, you can also audit all of your parental controls and see exactly where you need to change some things, and just going through those settings. So again, this takes a little bit of time. Might have to take an evening after your kids go to bed and kind of do this, but it will be worth it, and it might cause you a lot less heartache in the months to come. And the third thing is that I have, and this is just an idea for you, but it's time to make some new rules about device usage. And what you have to do is you have to enforce those rules as well, even if that is as simple as we don't bring our phones to the dinner table anymore, or you leave your phones off from a certain time or a certain span of time in the evening, whatever that may be. It's a great time to kind of enact a new rule. One of the rules that I tell parents a lot at my digital parenting workshop, in fact, I just got through doing one at the Asheville Road Church in outside of Birmingham, Alabama this past weekend. And I told them, I said, it's a very, very good idea, especially if you have older kids who have their own devices, like their own iPhones. Don't let them take their devices to bed with them. Take up those devices at bedtime. And I said, oh, that'll be so popular. The kids will just hand it right over to you. They're not going to worry about it. You won't have any arguments. Actually, I'm kidding. It will be absolutely very, very difficult to do that. But according to all the different things and the studies that I've seen, plus the parents that I have actually heard from in the real world, a lot of bad stuff kids do after hours. They do it at 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. in the morning. And so taking that device away at nighttime, letting them use a regular alarm clock, or a CD player to listen to music, or maybe something else. Taking that device away from them, and allowing them to have it back in the morning, that's probably a good idea. And again, school time, when we're going back to school, when we're making new rules and we're getting inside new routines, is a good time to start some of those rules, even if they are a little bit painful on both sides. And so again, enforce them. Make some new rules, make some new changes. This is a good time to make some changes. Enforce those new rules as well. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in. We always want to ask you again to subscribe and to like. And if you like this video, share this video. Share it on Facebook. Share the link on your social media channels and all sorts of different things. Again, we thank you so much for your support. I'm Chad Landman for the Digital Parenting Workshop. Have a great week.